Welcome back to the pod, baby. We're back with the LOM podcast. I'm your host, Jay Lyons, of course. And, how's everyone doing this week? How's everyone doing on this fine Wednesday morning? For you guys. For me, it's Tuesday morning. But, that's neither here nor there. How's everyone doing? Oh, yeah, that's right. You guys can't answer because this is a recording. Something I want to talk about because I've been waiting to talk about this for a long time. And I haven't really said anything because I kind of thought, hey, maybe it'll just go away, Maybe this person will realize at some point, maybe I shouldn't do this, But they haven't, And I don't want to I don't want to reach out to them and be like, hey, stop. Because that seems sort of like a dick thing to do. So I'm just going to anonymously put them on blast on my podcast. Because that's not a dick move to do, right? But yeah, I don't want to it's nothing about this person specifically because how do I put this in a nice way? They're sort of in a group of people that I can't stand. That sounds nice, right? It's the type of people who feel like that they need to post everything about their lives on social media. They think that we all care, They think that there's some sort of celebrity and we're all following because we want to know their every move or something like that. The type of people I'm talking about? Where it's just a normal, average, everyday person that you just know. And they just feel like they have to bring you up to speed on everything that's going on in their life. Or it's not even just that, but it's they sort of, on social media, they try to make their life seem a lot more interesting than it probably is. Right? And I'm just saying it's not you can't have an interesting life, you could put fun shit on social media, but it's it's to the point where it's almost they're always doing something, right? At least that's what they portray on social media. They're always doing something, okay? They're always involved in everything. You know what I'm talking about? They're always at a bar or something, 24/7, and you're do you do anything else, It's the people who are on vacation 24/7, They take a vacation back home. That's how rare they go home. They'll post something on social media of them in Greece or something, and then the next day they're in Rome, and you're I thought you were in Greece. It's yeah, I was, but that was last week. Now I'm in Rome. It's do you go home at all, ever? Also, who's paying for this shit, Hopping into the little PJs, taking off, going to Rome, going to Greece, going to Paris, Amsterdam, just going fucking everywhere. It's do you go home at all, ever? Yeah, when I go on vacation, I go home. Their home is literally the entire world. But anyways, there was this one situation that I remember seeing of someone they were just putting shit on their story, right? And I was watching it and I'm why do you think I care? I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but it's this has nothing to do with me. Why do you think not even just me, but anybody who follows you even remotely cares about this situation? Right? They were putting personal drama out on Maine, And you're dude, I don't care. I'm not this person you have beef with, so why are you beefing with them on your story? It was a situation where I guess somebody found this person's photo on their man's phone or something like that. And so I guess they started beefing with this person. And so this person decided to answer all the beef or beef with this other person on their story, right? They were posting on their story. They're like, yeah, it's not my fault my photo was on his phone or something like that. And it's like, why are you telling me? I don't care. Tell this person who's beefing with you. Like, that's the type of shit I'm talking about, where it's like they just put everything on social media, and like this wasn't a one-time thing. Like this person pretty much does it for everything. But it's just like, I'm like, why do I care? Why do you think I care? Like, if you want to post something on social media, if you're going to like Disney, you want to post like the fun bits of your life on social media, yeah, go ahead. Everyone does that. I do that, okay? But like, you don't need to post your personal beef with somebody on main, Like, what's the reason for that? Because like I said, it's not like I'm a celebrity or you're a celebrity and I'm following you specifically to follow everything that's going on in your life, And like the only way I found out about this beef was because you were answering it on your main, right? It's not like I read some article about it and I'm like, oh, I want to see what this person's response was. I don't care. Okay, everyone has personal beef. Okay, but you don't put it on your main, right? Like, you don't need to post your entire life on social media. And like I said, this isn't like the only time this person's done something like that. And I'm not trying to call this person up. I'm just saying, like, you don't need to post everything on social media like we care, I don't know. I mean, do people really care about that type of shit? Like, do people mind? Or probably most people don't even really watch because they just like skip through all the stories, just like boop, 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 boop. You know what I'm saying? But me, every once in a while, like, I'll stop on a story to read what's going on. And it just so happens I read this person's story because it just infuriates me. And so like, I always stop and I read everything that's going on because like, I just want to make myself mad or something. I don't know. But it's just like, the type of shit just like bothers me, because like I said, like no one cares. Okay, probably your friends do, but like if they're your friends, you can tell them through text, right? You can FaceTime them or something, or talk to them in person. Like, do you really think most people care or even know what you're talking about? Like, I don't know who this person was who found your photo on their man's phone. Like, I don't know who they are. And I don't really care either. So I better not see like an explanation story after I post this, right? Because I don't care. I don't want to know. But just like this person was telling us as if we knew about it, as if we've been following this story from the beginning. We're like, we want to know all the new developments, right? It's like, no one knew about it, and everyone was happy that they didn't know about it. Everyone was happier. But anyways, like, yeah, it's just the type of people who just do that type of shit, They're always posting photos of them going to parties or something like that, They're always like, oh, I'm going here, Come party with me. It's like, no, okay. I don't want to. I'm just gonna chill here. Hey, we're taking shots, dude. Yeah, I don't care, man. God, shots is like a normal thing. A ton of people take shots. You're not anything special. This is my third beer tonight, dude. Okay. Thanks for letting me know. I'll check off that box. Made it to 3 beers tonight. But yeah, like even for celebrities, I don't even care. Like, I don't follow like any celebrities. I think I may follow like, I think I follow like 3, maybe. But like the 3 I follow don't do that type of shit. Like, they just post just like normal photos, just like the type of photos that I would post. And so like that's why I don't really mind, because it's not like, I don't know, they're just interesting photos and I want to follow, right? But like I wouldn't follow a celebrity who feels like that they have to post like every segment of their life on social media, because like that'll just get boring after a while. Well, not really boring, but just like annoying, because it's like, oh God, they posted on their story again. I just watched their entire story of like 50 videos like 2 minutes ago. Now they got another 50 to watch. Right? I mean, some people probably don't care about that, because there's probably people out there who are so obsessed with celebrities that they want to know everything about their life, and they probably get pissed at the celebrities who don't post every minute of their life on social media. They're like, come on, I want to know what you're eating for breakfast, dude. Show me your plate. Are you eating tater tots? Let me know, please. I gotta know, are you having egg whites? But like me, I don't care about that. Like the only celebrity that I ever followed where like I cared about that type of shit was DJ Khaled. But that was because his stories were funny, right? And it was almost like he was on the same schedule every day. And so like you woke up and you knew he was going to say good morning to Chef D, right? And get his breakfast. And then you knew he was going to water the plants, okay? And then you knew he was going to do some sort of major key alert, right? You knew all that shit was going to happen. So you were looking forward to it. Like it was like a show, right? You're like, dude, I want to know what's next on the DJ Khaled show. But like that's different. In my opinion, I just feel like that's different, because it was fun. It was funny. Okay? But like type of people who just like, you know, they're trying to make their life seem way more interesting than it actually is. You know, like they always say, you know, don't trust everything you see on social media. You know, like people only post their best lives on social media or something like that, right? But like the people who try to convince you that, no, my social media life is my real life, that kind of bothers me, because it's like, I know it's not. I know it's not actually like that. Anyways, like, hey, if you want to post your entire life on social media, go right ahead. Don't let me stop you. I'm just going to say, I'm not going to like it. It's going to irritate me. I probably should just like stop watching the story, honestly. You know? Because like it's kind of like my own fault that I go on social media all the time and I watch this person's story knowing it's going to irritate me. So like I should just stop watching it, and then I won't it won't bother me anymore. But you know, I don't know. Sometimes I can't help myself. Sometimes I just want to piss myself off. I'm like, you know what? I want to get angry right now. And so I just go on social media and just watch the story. And then my entire day is ruined after that. And I'm weirdly happy about that. I don't know. Well, once again, like if you want to do that, go right ahead. Like I said, don't let me stop you. Okay. But I'll probably stop watching your story. So like if you notice that I stopped watching your story, it's probably because your story is pissing me off because of how much you put on your story. I don't know. A good thing is that not a lot of people do that. You know, it's just like a few people here and there that do that. And once again, it's nothing against them. But I just want to let them know you're not fooling anybody. Okay, maybe you're fooling somebody, but you're not fooling me, okay? I know your life isn't as interesting as you make it out to be. You know, because like, what if like they go to a bar and they take like 1 million photos and they post like one every week to make it seem like they're going to a bar every week, but they're actually not? You know, that's the kind of shit that I'm thinking about when I see this. It's like, okay, is this a photo from tonight or is this a photo from last week? And you're just trying to make me think it's from tonight. You know, like you don't know, right? Because it doesn't tell you on the timestamp. At least on Instagram, it doesn't tell you. On Snap, at least before when I used to have Snap, like if you put something on your camera roll, like it would say 3 months ago from camera roll or something like that when you put it on your story. So people know it's like, oh, okay, this is from a long time ago. But on Instagram, I don't think they do that. I think it just posts whatever time it was posted ago. Right, so you could probably fool a bunch of people. Like I could probably go on Instagram right now and post a bunch of videos of my past trips to Universal and make everyone think I'm going to Universal today when I'm not, you know. I'm sitting here doing the podcast. But I could totally just trick a bunch of people. You know, there was actually one time that it actually did work. I don't know why I did, but I posted like a clip of me at Universal or something like that, or me with my friends at Universal, and someone replied, they're like, "Oh my gosh, you go to Universal all the time." And I didn't have the heart to tell them that I wasn't actually at Universal. I just wanted to let them think that I actually was. So I was like, "Yeah, you know, it's crazy. I just went on a bunch of rides or something." But yeah, like you could totally just like trick people like that, you know? You probably could go onto like YouTube or something and screen record a video of somebody on a cruise, post it on your story, and everyone would be like, "Wow, you're on a cruise right now?" And you're like, "Hell yeah, I'm on a cruise." When you're actually not. It was just a random ass video from YouTube. See, but like that's the things that I think about when I watch some people's stories. I'm like, okay, is this from a week ago or is this from right now? But like if it's somebody who like barely posts on their stories, I'm not really going to think about that because like most likely they are at whatever they're posting. But it's the people who they're constantly posting shit on their story where it makes it seem like that they're always doing something, right? That I start thinking, are you actually doing these things or, you know? Does anyone else think about that? Because like I said, I definitely do. That's just the pessimist in me, you know? I try to find the negative in everything. Yeah, this person's definitely lying to me about them going to Universal. But once again, why would they lie about that? You know, like I said, like I could totally just find a video on YouTube of like someone on a cruise and post on my story and make people think I'm on a cruise. But then again, why would I want to do that? Like, why would I want to trick people into thinking I'm on a cruise? How does that benefit me at all? So, I mean, maybe everyone is telling the truth and I'm just being way too negative about it. But I know there are some people who would lie about it. The people who, you know, for whatever reason, they have an obsession with, you know, I don't know, they're obsessed with other people think about them, right? So they have to make their lives seem way more interesting than it actually is. I'm not saying that that's anybody that I know. I'm just saying that there are people out there who are like that. So they would probably do something like that. But also, like, why go through the hassle of doing something like that? Just go on an actual cruise, you know? Then you can take, like, authentic photos, you know? And then you can actually be in them. Because any video you find on like YouTube, you're not going to be in it. So you can't post a video or a photo of you on a cruise, actually, from that. Because you're not in any of those. So just go on an actual cruise. Then you can take videos of you taking shots on the cruise. And people will be like, wow, they actually are on a cruise taking shots. Because shots is a rare thing that people do. Wow, that's really interesting. No one ever takes shots. At least on a cruise, dude. Wow, that's crazy. But, I don't know. Like I said, if you want to post your entire life on social media, go right ahead. But I'm just gonna stop watching because it's gonna piss me off. But to get off that topic, Halloween Horror Nights is going on. Halloween Horror Nights has been going on for a long time at Universal. And I went twice. Was it last week? It was probably last week. Yeah, I went twice last week. And I've never been to Halloween Horror Nights. I know it's kind of crazy. You know, I've lived in Florida for how long, and I've never been to Halloween Horror Nights until last week. I know. But, yeah, I just went to Halloween Horror Nights, and it was kind of crazy. In my opinion, nothing too interesting was at Halloween Horror Nights, like the themes, like the houses and shit like that, because they've had things like Alien versus Predator in years past, and they've had Stranger Things, which I wish I went to the Stranger Things years, but I didn't. But yeah, this year, I don't know, the big thing people were talking about was like The Haunting of Hill House, which is a show on Netflix, which I didn't know was a thing until I found out about it at Halloween Horror Nights when everyone was freaking out about this house. And they're like, wow, I can't wait to see this house. And I'm like, I didn't even know this was a show. Right? But, yeah, the house was pretty cool, though. The first time I went was kind of a letdown, if I'm being honest. Like, the scares... The thing is, I don't get scared easily, Because it's just the way my mind works. Especially when you're going into a haunted house, okay? It's a haunted house. There's going to be scares. So automatically my mind is already, wherever I'm looking, I'm identifying where the scare points would be, right? So like if you're coming down a hallway, right? And the end of the hallway kind of turns into a corner, my mind is already thinking there's a scare behind that corner and they're going to jump out when I get to the end of the hallway. And so I get to the end of the hallway, they jump out and I'm like, you got me. Totally didn't see that coming. Which kind of sucks because I wish my mind didn't think like that because, it seems like so much fun going into these houses and like you see the people who get like legitimately freaked out, right? And they scream and they like run away or something like that. Like that seems like a lot of fun, but that doesn't happen to me. Like they jump out and I'm like, wow, that's crazy. And it also makes me feel bad for the scarers because they probably jump out and they get no reaction out of me and they're like, damn, I'm failing at my job. I'm about to get fired. What if like the scarers, like they have to scare like a certain number of people in one night, and if they don't, they get fired. And so like if you don't get scared, you just jeopardize that person's job. Like, fuck, that's 25 people I didn't scare. I'm about to lose my job. If I get 26, I'm fired. But like some scares did legitimately get me. Okay, there was a few that were pretty good, but like I think out of all the houses that I've been to, which I think in total I went to 7 houses. No, I've been to 8. I think there was 2 that I haven't been to yet. Yeah, out of those 8 houses and going for 2 nights, I think grand total, I think I was probably legitimately scared maybe 3 times. Which like, I'm not trying to brag about that because I kind of hate it. I wish I got scared more often. Right? There was one that was pretty good. It was in Texas Chainsaw Massacre house. And like all the houses that I had been to up until that point, the scares, they just kind of like jump out and they're like, boo, right? And you're like, whoa, right? But in the Texas Chainsaw, okay, there was like this one part where there was a hallway and there was a door at the end. Now, usually when you're in a hallway and there's like doors on the sides or at the end of the hallway, like they don't actually open. Like it's just for design purposes. So I'm going down this hallway thinking that it's like that, because the path for the house continues, like you turn in front of that door and you just keep going. So I'm thinking, yeah, that's just a design, that's just part of the house, right? And as I'm approaching the door like busts open and there's like this dude with a chainsaw. And like I said, like they just kind of jump out, they scare you, and then they just go back into their hidey hole, right? This guy busted down the door with a chainsaw and started like walking towards me. And I freaked out. I was like, wait, whoa, this is this is not normal. This is not how the scares usually are. So that one kind of got me. The other one that kind of got me was there was like this one room. It was in Hill House, actually. There was like this one room, and it kind of looked like a dining room. And there was like this dummy, like this dead body dummy on the ground, right? And when I get to the dining room, I kind of like look down and I'm like, damn, that's crazy, because like that's the first time I'd seen like a dead body dummy in any of the houses. So I was like, damn, that's kind of crazy. And as I'm like looking at it, this like maid busts into the room with like a tray of tea, offering me some. And like I wasn't expecting it, so I freaked out. I was like, holy shit. So yeah, that one was pretty good. I don't remember what the third one was. I might have only been scared twice. But yeah, most of them like I said, like you could totally, the way my mind works, I totally knew where they were all gonna be. I was like, yep, there's gonna be one coming out right there. And sometimes I was wrong, but most of the time I was right, There was a few times where like I'd see a window, right? And I'm like, okay, someone's gonna like pop out into the window, and then like no one did, and I was like, okay, whatever. I guess I was wrong about that one. But yeah, it just like it kind of ruined the scares sometimes. The only reason why the chainsaw one scared me was because the dude started walking towards me with a chainsaw, and I was like, well, this ain't normal. And then the dining room one scared me because I wasn't expecting someone to bust into the dining room. I thought it was just like a looks thing. Right, but then I went into a different house. I don't remember which one it was, but there was a different house, and there was like a living room. Oh, I think it might have been Beetlejuice house. There was like a living room, and there was like 3 or 4 dummies in the room. Now I was walking through that room, and I'm waiting for someone to bust into the room, or one of the dummies to be like an actual scare, and they just like stand up and scare you. But that didn't happen at all, and I'm like, dude, huge missed opportunity, right? Not for me. I probably wouldn't have been scared because, like I said, I was expecting it. But, it'd probably freak out a lot of other people, especially in a room full of dummies. And then, like, one just, like, jumps up and scares you. That'd be kind of freaky. Because everyone's like, damn, I thought they were all dummies, right? But, yeah. So they got some, like, food trucks there at Halloween Horror Nights. And there was, like, this one food truck that had this like burger slider that I wanted to try. And it was a burger, but the bun was a glazed donut. Now, I have heard of this concept before. There's like a restaurant in this area that has that, but it's like a full-size donut. This one at Halloween Horror Nights was like a slider, and like, dude, it was a small-ass slider. Like, I know sliders are small in general, but like this thing was like the size of a quarter, This shit was tiny. And I'm like, okay, could you make it a little bit bigger, okay? But anyways, like I said, I've heard of this concept before because there was a restaurant in this area that has that, and I wanted to try it, but I haven't yet. And so when it was at Halloween Horror Nights, I was like, I've always wanted to try this concept of a burger with a glazed donut bun, right? So let's try it. So I tried it. It was actually pretty good. A lot of people, when I mention this concept to people who haven't heard of it before, they're like, oh, ew, gross. A burger with a glazed donut? Which, like, it does kind of sound bad, but also sounds good at the same time. Right? I mean, come on. A glazed donut and a burger? That's pretty good, right? But anyways, I tried it. It was pretty good. Like I said, I wish it was a bigger slider, which is bigger than a fucking quarter, dude. But... it was fine. But yeah, they got a bunch of other stuff there, which that I would like to try, but I just haven't gotten around to it. Because also, like, I don't know, Halloween Horror Nights takes place like all night. And so, like, who's really going to want to eat a burger at like midnight or something like that, or like 11 p.m., right? The only reason why I did was because, I wanted to try that type of dish for a long time, and I was like, this is my opportunity to try it, But yes, they got some good stuff there, though. Now I don't know how it compares to other Halloween Horror Nights because, like I said, this is my first time going to Halloween Horror Nights, but they had some pretty interesting houses. Hill House was pretty good. The first time I went was kind of a letdown, but the second time I went, it was actually pretty good. I got a few like, whoa, little spooks. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get fully scared. The dummy thing that happened in the Hill House in like the dining room, that was the first time I went to the Hill House. So the second time I went, I was fully expecting that to happen. So she busted in the room, and I'm like, yeah, I'll take a cup of that tea. You didn't get me this time. But yeah, the second time I went was a lot better. I don't know why, but it sort of seemed like the scares were just a little more spoopy. You know what I'm saying? Like I got a little more jitters. But yeah, Beetlejuice was pretty good. I haven't seen Beetlejuice, if I'm being honest. I know a lot of people are gonna be like, "Oh, what?" But yeah, I haven't seen it yet. I don't know why. It's a Halloween movie, you know, and so like the only time, I mean, you can watch it whenever you want, I guess, but like it just makes more sense to watch it during the Halloween season, which I mean we're getting into. It's not quite October yet, right? Yeah, what's today? Like the 28th or something? September 28th? Anyways, but I mean, we're in fall. So like I guess we can start watching it. But yeah, I heard it's pretty good. So I do want to watch it, but it's just like during Halloween, like the main movie that I want to watch is Ghostbusters. Right? Because I mean that movie's iconic. And I guess so is Beetlejuice. Beetlejuice is also iconic, but I don't know, I just never really got around to watching that movie. But I know it's really good, and I know it's like a comedy spooky movie, right? So I know a lot of people were like, it's kind of weird that it's at Halloween Horror Nights, but I mean, you know, I don't really care. I don't need Halloween Horror Nights to be like excessively gory or bloody or horrifying, you know, like you can have some fun houses in there, like Beetlejuice, and like even Stranger Things. Like Stranger Things isn't really a horror show. It's got spooky elements and it's suspenseful, but it's not horror. But like I still think it fits in Halloween Horror Nights, and I definitely would love to go to one of those houses. I hope they bring it back, considering Stranger Things 4 is coming out next year. So hopefully next year they got a Stranger Things house for the 4th season. You know, here's hoping. Knock on wood, you know what I'm saying? Doing all the good luck things. But I don't know, maybe they won't. Because, I mean, they already had it for 2 years. And then they had Ghostbusters. When did they have Ghostbusters? Was that 2019? They had Ghostbusters? I don't even remember. But yeah, Ghostbusters would have been cool to go to because, you know, I like Ghostbusters. But once again, Ghostbusters isn't like a horror movie, so probably a lot of people are like, I don't even know why it's there. It's not horror. Whatever, dude. Who the fuck cares? There's a lot of stuff at Halloween Horror Nights that I don't get why it's there, you know? Like there was like this one house that was what was it called? I think it was called like Wicked Growth or something like that, and it was all about pumpkins. Which a lot of people, I guess I just overhyped it in my mind because a lot of people said it was really good, but like I went in there and like I was like, oh, okay. This is cool, I guess. It wasn't like horror. Like, it was just a bunch of pumpkins everywhere. And I know I just said that I don't need Halloween Horror Nights to be excessively gory, bloody, or horrifying, and you can have some fun houses. But I mean, like, this one wasn't even really that, like, it wasn't like a fun spooky, right? It was just a bunch of pumpkins. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know. Maybe I just went on a bad night, you know? But it was still pretty cool to go to. Like, obviously, like, if you go to Halloween Horror Nights, I recommend you try to go to all the houses. Because, I mean, I would like to go to all the houses. I still got 2 more that I want to go to. I think the last 2 I need is, like, Icons and, was it, like, Scaryville? Scarytown? Something like that? I don't know. If you don't know, there's 10 houses. So, in total, I've been to 8. And so I still got 2 more to go to. But yeah, I heard Icons was pretty good. Icons is like the Universal iconic horror creatures, right? Isn't that what it is? Like the creature of the Black Lagoon. Is that what it's called? I don't know. But yeah, then like Wolfman. I think that's what it is. I don't know for sure. But yeah, I'm going again this week. So hopefully I get those last 2 houses. But yeah, I think that's going to wrap it up for this episode of Line on Main. So, whatever you guys are listening to this on, make sure to like, subscribe, follow, and leave a review if you're listening on Apple Podcasts. All that shit really helps me out a lot. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure to subscribe, like the video, and ring the bell so you get notifications for not only this podcast, but for the Bone Zone. Because if you don't know, the Bone Zone is a bonus episode series, which is exclusively on YouTube. So, yeah. Don't forget to watch the D'Amelio Show special series on the Bone Zone, which will be on YouTube. I'll link that in the description below on YouTube. Yeah, follow me on social media at RealJLines, and follow this podcast on social media at Lion on Main on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. And yeah, that's going to wrap it up for this episode. So I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love you. I don't know. Do I?